You're dumping beer? That's not a good thing here.
I know.
Okay, but anyway, that's all right. You're pouring your beer. And by the way, who are you?
I'm Alice with Innocent Gun.
With Innocent Gun. And what are we watching?
Still crazy after all these beers.
Is this your favorite show?
Definitely.
You lie real well.
I know, I try.
Let's start the show.
Still Crazy After All These Beers is brought to you by our friends at Michelob, crafting a better beer. And Porta Pong, the world's #1 best-selling inflatable beer pong table at portapong.com.
Hey, I'm Tara Nurin with the Michelob Minute. We're here with Celeste Beatty, Harlem Brewing Company. Hi, Celeste. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
So we're here with a rare female brewer and owner of the company. We want to find out from you if you encounter any challenges when you're trying to get your beer into accounts. How do people perceive you?
Well, oftentimes one of the biggest challenges I have is the fact that they have no idea that I'm the owner of the company, even sometimes after telling them several times. So at this point, I don't really talk about it. It's not really important to me unless they ask, but they just find it hard to believe that, one, I'm a woman that owns a company. They don't really see too many woman-owned brands. So that can be very interesting when I walk into retail accounts.
What about when you're dealing with a lot of men, I would imagine, trying to get your beer into accounts? Is there any kind of, do they come on to you? Is there any kind of innuendo?
Lots of come on and lots of innuendos across the board, from the corporate room to the local retail store. I guess they seem to have, they're so used to seeing women sexually provocatively dressed coming in promoting beer, so I guess when I walk in they expect me to come in there with cleavage out and all of that. But after we get beyond that expectation, everything is pretty much okay, but it can be a very interesting environment for women going into these accounts with individuals, not all, that want to talk about a lot more than beer. I'll leave it at that.
That's a very diplomatic way to put it. What about the positives? Are there any positives, do you think, advantages that come to you because you're a female brewer and company owner?
Well, I think there's a lot of positives. One of them is the fact that the style of beer I brew, I found it to be very receptive amongst women. Women are very receptive to the style of beer that I brew, but also they're used to men promoting beer, and it's very refreshing for them to see that there's a woman brewing beer. Oftentimes, many of us love cooking and doing a lot of those type things, so we can relate to the flavors. But I found them to be very receptive to the beer because I am a woman, and it's opened up some very interesting opportunities for the brand in that space.
Thank you very much. I wish we had a long time to talk to you. These are some really kind of pertinent topics that I'd like to explore further, and thank you for being with us. We'll explore more of them on future Michelob Minutes. I'm Tara Nurin. Thanks for stopping in.
And here we are in Philadelphia. Welcome to this week's edition of Still Crazy After All These Beers. You're having fun already, Erin.
I am. I'm always having fun. Always.
Wherever you are. Well, there's beer around, too.
How can I not have fun? Beer. We brought condoms. I mean, blind faith.
You brought beer, you brought condoms. Now, let me see. I guess they do kind of go along in some way.
I think so. One hand kind of washes the other type thing. No?
Well, one hand washes something. I don't know if it's the other or the other what. Do these come in extra small?
No, they do not. Magnums only.
In that case, I'm going to move on to the next booth after this. But but anyway, you know, whoa, I kind of lost my train of thought right here. But
I'm sorry. I have a tendency to do that.
No, that's okay. Magic Hat is an absolutely remarkable company. We've had Alan Newman on one of our first shows. Alan's a great guy. I guess he's a Deadhead, huh? He likes his Grateful Dead, doesn't he?
Huge Deadhead. Huge Deadhead. Yep.
And you know, I'm over here. I'm looking at some of the beers you have. Obviously, the flagship's #9. Everyone knows Magic Hat #9. If not, you guys get out there and try it. A lot of rumors, a lot of history about the beer, how the name started. Yes, I know the answer. I'm not telling you, however. Do you know how the name number?
It's an ale cloaked in secrecy.
Yeah, it
If I
really.
told you, I'd have to kill you.
But actually, now we have 3 beers here. We have the Magic Hat number 9. We have Blind Faith, and I'm an old guy. I go back a few years. And as soon as I saw Blind Faith, which is a name I hadn't seen for a while, Aaron, I thought of the old super band from the late '60s, which featured Eric Clapton and Ginger Baker and a few others. They had a real long run of 6 months, I think, before the band disbanded. But
Like many of his bands did.
Exactly. Some last too long, unfortunately. But that Blind Faith is a really nice beer. Now, what style would you call that?
The Blind Faith is an IPA. It's an India Pale Ale. It is part of our IPA tour program.
Okay.
We just started it this year. It's basically a seasonal IPA, 6.2% alcohol. It's been brewed with Apollo and Cascade hops, and it's also been dry hopped with the Cascade.
Wow.
So has a very nice nose, definitive Cascade presence in the beer, and it's also very nicely balanced with the malts. So, a lot of IPAs have kind of a lingering bitterness, a lingering aftertaste. This, you get all the bitters of the IPA style, but it has a very nice, clean finish.
Totally agree.
Yeah, very drinkable IPA.
Now, look at the color in this beer. What a cool-looking beer this is, and the taste is remarkable. This is the Summer Wacko.
It is the Summer Wacko. It's the second year we've brewed this seasonal. It's been a killer beer. The first year, it really just exceeded all of our expectations. Everybody loved it, so we figured why not bring it back again this summer. What it is and what gives it that unique color, it's actually brewed with an all-natural beet juice.
There we go, beet juice, okay.
Yeah. For color, not flavor, so beet lovers, I'm sorry. Everybody else, it's okay. It's okay. So,
it's a really good beer. I'll tell you this right now. Now, this is part of the summer lineup. Of course, you guys may be watching this when it's 25 degrees out there, but that's okay because it makes its return, every spring or so?
Every summer.
Okay.
Every summer. It comes out around May.
Okay.
And what it is, in my opinion, it's the perfect summer ale. It's everything about this beer is light, it's subtle, it's drinkable. My term of the summer is poundable because it truly is just something that you can really.
What was that term again?
Poundable.
Poundable. Do I need one of these?
I know I don't need to tell you how to pound a beer. I mean, you're still crazy after all these beers, so you gotta know.
I'm still crazy after all these beers, but the idea of pounding is something that I find fascinating. But I'm going to go back to the beer.
Yeah. That takes us back, to condoms and beer, and again, just another link between the two. And just so everybody knows, the reason we make condoms is because we partner with an organization called LifeBeat. It's lifebeat.org, and they promote safe sex and AIDS awareness. So we manufacture these condoms. It's a clever play on words. It's definitely a Magic Hat-esque thing to do.
Which is a great name for a condom, Magic Hat.
Exactly. Like I said, a very clever pun.
In more ways than one.
Exactly.
Well, Aaron, I'll tell you what, you are great on camera. I know it's the first time you've done TV work with us?
Yes, I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous, but I think I did okay.
I think the ratings are going to go through the roof on this one.
I hope so. And then you can have me back.
All of them will be my friends. All the guys out there are going to be watching it, right?
Yeah, right. I hope.
Tell us again the area you represent.
I represent Philadelphia, and I have 6 counties. Philly and basically all the surrounding suburbs. So it's a crazy region, but it's a beer-centric region, and it's so much fun, and I just really enjoy Magic Hat culture and promoting the beer, and just keep forging on and in competition with all the great beers that we have in the city and beyond. So
do you ever get up to the brewery?
I've been up to the brewery a few times, and I don't enjoy it any less every time I go. I actually enjoy it more. We just recently expanded it, and we've really had an opportunity to kind of experiment and do a lot more, especially with lagers and those beers that take a little bit longer to ferment. So we have that ability now, and everything we brew is on site. Matteo, our head brewer, is the man, and it's just, it really is. I represent Philly. I'm from Philly, but I'm a Vermonter at heart. So it's.
I can tell you did a great job. You really know your beer.
I try to. I think it's an important part of the job, and I just, like I said, I really enjoy the industry, and I just really enjoy, the job. It's great. It's a great company to work for.
This is all research, right?
Oh, All research. Market research. That's the terminology I use.
Erin, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
And we're going to see you next week on Still Crazy After All These Beers. Cheers.